I'm going to zoom in a little. There we go. Let's move it a little like this. A different tripod today, so we'll see if this one works any better. They're all wobbly because they're not meant for like big major cameras or anything. Morning, Jackie. I hope you've been enjoying some nice weather lately. It's been a little bit, I don't want to use the word cooler because sometimes that makes it feel like it was cold, but the temperatures were less broiling hot than usual. I'm going to move you again. Let's get you over here so you can see more sewing. That should work. If I step in front of it, my apologies, but that should get us going. Move the sewing machine back a whittle. I've created a mess before I even started the live stream. I've sewn one seam and I've already made a total mess. But when I sew string blocks and scraps and stuff, everything is messy. There, now you can see that a little bit. Let me come over this way. We're not like we're doing anything rocket science exciting today, but we are. I have to balance it out on I have 2 cutting mats on my table. I like to have the table up. It's just my little brother's sewing machine today. I like to have the table up because it's easier for you guys to see when it's sewing flat. Hi, Ellen. And if I were to take it off, then everything just kind of falls over to the side. But we don't need... Always makes me want to sing something. We don't need no education. There we go, see? Whoops. Take the table right off. Hi, Barb. Afternoon in Michigan. This was the very first thing I've done today. The very first stitchy, crafty, anything that I've done today. I could not really go to sleep last night. I just kept dozing off and waking up and dozing off. So I finally actually went to bed at 1 a.m. and then, I was up at 6. Got up a couple times in the middle of the night, so it hasn't been the most restful of sleep. All right, that looks good. The light from the sewing machine's a little bright. My apologies. There's nothing I can do about that. Righty. Come here. Let's give you a little refresh. Now remember, up at the top of the chat screen, it says top chat with a down arrow. If you click on that and go down to live chat, then you can see everything as it's happening, because if you stay on top chat, then you can miss a lot of the conversation. So make sure you're on live chat. And I'd appreciate if you would like the video. And once we get going a little bit more, hi Janice, I have a few things to discuss with you. Some YouTube stuff, some random stuff. We always talk random. So we'll do a few things today. I am just going to sit here and work on some string blocks. I did bring my iron over. Let me put these here. They can protect the laptop from a little bit of the sewing dust. Those are the eyeglass cases that I've made before. You're going to get parts of my face popping in and out of the live stream. It is what it is. My apologies. I have my little palm iron out, and this is the one that stays hot all the time. The sole plate is kind of brown and orange and it's got speckles on it because this is what I use when I am, when I am working with fusibles and stuff, so I don't get it on my iron. I am using that heat state, what is it called? Wrap and Zap. I'm using the Wrap and Zap batting that I bought for bowl cozies that whatever. But it was 50% off, so I bought, I think, 10 of the packages of it. So I have a bunch. Ooh, that's dumb. I'm so used to, the Eliso. But anyway, the Wrap and Zap sometimes sticks to my iron. It has like something in it. And I think it's just the way they make it. I don't know that there's any scrim or anything in it, but it's just it melts into my iron. So I'm going to use this one. Plus, it stays hot. It doesn't take up a lot of space, and it works. I have a big stack of batting today because these projects tend to go fast. When you're using jelly roll strips, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 jelly roll strips. I put a link down below in the description box to my sunglass case tutorial video. That would be this one right here. Come here. That's basically what I'm going to be making today, but I'm doing it with jelly roll strips. You know how I feel. It's okay. I mean, it's necessary evils, right? We need to have advertisers because that's why YouTube is still free for all of us, and I earn a few pennies every day. So Barb is working on a scrappy string quilt while watching me, and excuse me, I'm working on a scrappy string quilt basically, but I'm still working on blocks. This is like, I don't know, it's 8 inches, 8 1/4, 8 1/2. I'm going to trim it down. Excuse me. I tried even taking a throat lozenge first. It's major allergy season everywhere, right? So once I'm going to start sewing on this, and then I'm going to try to pay attention till about 5 minutes later, and then I will tell you some fun things. Or I'll tell you some things maybe you do or do not know. I'm not sure. This one, okay, first of all, the little table here for the Brothers sewing machine really just kind of sits there, and the legs tend to come undone and get uneven and stuff. I had them all leveled out, but I'm in a different spot on the table, so just be prepared for it to flop all over and for legs to kind of bend down. That's just what they do. It's not a big deal. Yeah, I don't mind the ads. They've been really, knock on wood. Thank you, YouTube. I've been getting the really quick ones. Sometimes I do get 2 in a row, but they've been quick. The only time it bothers me is during a live stream. Just to make sure that, I don't want to miss anything. I can rewind, but then if you're following the comments and chatting with people in the chat and stuff, then you feel kind of lost, even if you're only off by a minute. But usually it's not a big deal. So for those of you that are in the chat already, I'm going to repeat myself, but if you look next to your name, Jackie has a crown with a number 2, Barb has a number 3, Janice has a number 2. Oh, Janice has got a number 1 now. Ellen had a number 1, but I'm not sure if she's still in the number 1. I don't know if you guys have noticed it on the live streams, but if you go to the chat, let me see if I have something long. I don't have it showing, but if you go to the chat and you go all the way up, if it has a crown with top fans in gray, I don't know if I can only see that because it's my live stream or if you guys can see it, but it clicks on it and it tells me how many XP points everyone has. So right now, Janice is in the lead with 50 XP points. That's why she has the dark purple crown with the number 1. Ellen has 25 experience points, number 2 and a lighter purple. And Jackie's in number 3. And Lovecraft must have just popped in. Hello, hello. And that's something that I don't see her. That's something that YouTube is doing now to just kind of keep it going, to make it a little interesting. And I think for when you're in the bigger channels and people want to be noticed and stuff, you get experience points by liking the video, by subscribing to the channel, by leaving comments, and if you do things like become a super fan, become a member, leave super chats and stuff like that. So if you support to the channel, hi Kathy, if you support the channel financially in any way during the live stream, it's like a little race for people that are competitive to be like, I want to be Robin's #1 fan. Well, you can do different things to become competitive. But the thing is, hi Yvette, when this live stream is over, and we come back on the next live stream, it starts back at 0. You don't carry those experience points over. You don't carry them from channel to channel. And as far as I know, they're only good during live streams. And you get nothing for it. It's just something fun to do. So you can see that in a lot of the different live streams. I saw it on our last one, Janice, and I'm like, I wonder what you guys are doing to get these purple crowns. I don't think I did anything. Then I saw the email, or got an email afterwards, and it's like, hey, this is what's happening. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's really fun. So you can do it for free by just commenting, liking, and subscribing. You can just talk to me, talk to other people, or I don't know, I guess if you're in like one of those streams that have, excuse me, 1,000, my voice is going to sound like I'm a whiny crybaby, but it's just allergies. My apologies. But I've done all my prep ahead of the stream to make sure I'm good, but it's not helping yet. But if you're like in a live stream that has a channel that has like 1 million subscribers and you want to be seen by the person doing the live stream, you can do a lot of those different things to become, you know, more visible, the #1 fan and stuff. Otherwise, for you guys, I think it's just kind of fun. You can see how many times, you know, you've chatted. So can you guys see that top fan at the top of the page, or is that only for me to see? I think you guys probably can only see your purple badges and stuff, and I wonder why they're purple. I wonder if they're only purple for me, if they're purple on other channels too. All right, I got to get rid of the lumbar support today. It's in my way. Anyways, I think it's kind of fun. Yeah, so you can do, like I said, you can do it for free. It doesn't really matter much. And I'm going to wait a little bit more, and then I'll tell you the next YouTube stuff. It's nothing new. I just want to show you guys how to find the new community sections. So when we're doing the slow stitching next month, if you guys want to figure it out now so that you can share photos next month, then you'll be able to share photos with everyone and say, hey, this is what I'm working on. Look at how mine is. Jackie, I'm pretty good, but I'm going to say you're saying you can't see. Oh, you can see it, Barb. Okay, perfect. You can see it too. Excellent. That's good. I was hoping you guys would be able to see it so you can keep track yourself too and see, you know, if that's what people are interested in. I think it's kind of fun, but it's like, I don't know. It doesn't mean anything, but I think YouTube is just trying to find ways for I don't want to say a younger generation because all generations could be interested, but people that are, I feel like it's, if you're a gamer and you're really into things like that and the challenge, or you're competitive in nature, or you just want to see like a result for what you're doing to help the channel out. You know, like I gave a super chat. You can see the super chats. But now, hi Kathy, you can see like the weight of it. I don't remember. I think you could probably Google and see how many points for each thing you do. It doesn't look like it's too weighted, because you know how sometimes you'll go and you'll do something and they're like, oh, if you read this book, you get 1,000 points. But you need to get a free book, you need, you know, like 100,000 points or something. I'd rather just earn 1 point and stuff. You lost your crown. Well, you're #3, Barb. You're back. You're back. I wonder how many, if it shows just like a certain number. Up top 3 get a crown after that. So If you're in the, I think, well, there's 14 people watching and only 7 people on the list. So I think you have to have done something during the live stream to get it. So a lot of people have 25 points. So that might be just for liking the video, the live stream. So if you want at least 25 points today, if you hit that like button, then you're good. See, Barb, I could see where this could be a little dangerous for me, especially in like a quieter live stream like ours. I'd be like, I want my purple crown back. Who took my purple crown? I really like this green and pink together. So that's why I wanted to make at least one this way. And where is my, where did I put, there it is. I need my quilting ruler. I need to see if I need to put anything on these corners or if they're big enough. Hi, Rick, from Mesa, Arizona. Oh, we had some nice weather here in Arizona now, didn't we? I'm still not totally, up on where everyone's at. I know the names of the towns and stuff, but then I'm easily confused about, are you north of Surprise in the Phoenix area or are you south? There's like this section in North Arizona that I just don't really hear much about. Okay, so if I wanted an 8-inch, I have to put something in the corners. All right, so I'm going to take this pink off here, and I'll add that to the corner down here. And then we'll see if I need to add it over there also. May as well use the scraps, right? Otherwise, I'm going to be collecting more scraps and I'm going to have to do something else with them. You're in the East Valley. Okay. You're that way. Gotcha, gotcha. Are you kind of south of Phoenix? I think Mesa is one of the places when I'm looking for something and it says it's in Mesa and I'm like, oh, okay. I could go there. It's not that far, but it's not a 20-minute drive either. For those of you that don't know Arizona, I'm pretty sure I'm in the Western Valley. That took me a little bit to figure out when we first moved here, different sections of the valley and how everything is just seems to be based off of Phoenix. I think I'm going to leave it like this, and when I go to trim it, if it needs something, then I will. I have a whole playlist for string blocks. I made a quilt with them. I made some other projects, and I think I did different things like how to use a string block, mixing up with a half square triangle and stuff like that. But this, when done, will look like that once it's trimmed. And then sometimes it's nice just to get an idea of what something's going to look like. It'll kind of look like that as an eyeglass case. Now I'm going with just the jelly roll strips today because they're quick and easy, but I do, Mesa's near you, Jackie. Okay, okay. Yes, thank you, thank you. I'm going with the wider strips now, but I do want to use some of my narrower ones, and I want to use some of the ones from the log cabin, the strips that I have left over from the log cabin block that I did. I'm still working on the other sewing machine mat that's like mine here. I just keep forgetting about it when I get involved with 12 other things. But this sewing machine mat, I still need to make a twin of it for the shop. Some of you might recognize this is the jelly roll from the series I started, but it kind of fizzled out because it really didn't get any kind of interest besides my usual people that love to watch what I'm working on. This is that jelly roll. So I thought I would go ahead and use this, and I can put it into that playlist also. I think people who first started watching that playlist were hoping for different quilts versus just use it to make small projects. Thanks, Janice. I'd love to make. Connie, I had a feeling you weren't Rick. I just couldn't remember what person you were. Thank you for letting us know. Look, that puts you into the #1 spot. Woo! But then at the same time, I kind of feel bad you bumped Janice out. Thankfully, it's just a fun and games thing, and it's not a like the #1 person's going to win $50 or something like that, you know, because then I feel like there'd be more hard feelings and stuff. Polka dot stuff doesn't always do very well. I can mix that in with things. I have this, but this would be, I really love the aqua teals and turquoise. There's some that were from, remember if we did the jelly, the rainbow jelly roll strip zipper pouch with the binding on them. So those kind of go nice together. There's only the 2 of these, so these will have to get mixed in with something. I didn't use, you know, some of these. These remind me of like 30 repo prints, so I thought, I don't think we can, well, we might be able to do an all brown one. Maybe some of this orange in there. And this is the similar ones that add a little pop. And here's another, whoop. Oh, there's another one of the teal aquas. That'll help. What color is that? Teal aqua turquoise. That way I don't get it wrong. And nobody can yell at me. I don't want that in there. But even this yellow goes with all of that because that's like the 70s stuff. I will get my title back, right? Don't forget to stay hydrated. This room has been cold all week. Sit down to do a live stream and I'm like all flushed and hot. Yeah, stripes and dots work really nice together. Thank you, Connie. I appreciate it. Yeah, I recognized Rick Freeman. I couldn't remember exactly who you were because you know I'm terrible with names, but I knew that Rick Freeman was more than likely 99% a woman. And I wouldn't want to insult Rick Freeman because sometimes we do have gentlemen come hang out with us, but I just couldn't remember who you were, and I knew you'd been here for a long time. Hi, June. I was actually looking, I relate so many things to before Rob and after Rob. So this video is from 5 years ago. I thought it was much older. I thought it was a before Rob video, but it's an after Rob video. And I was looking at it, and it's when I moved back in Florida, obviously, when I moved my sewing machine table from the wall into the middle of the room. So I had the camera in front of me, like a lot of people like to do. And I changed it up because I didn't like, everything falls off my table if it's not against the wall, to be honest. And I'm like, I don't remember doing that after Rob. I thought that was before. It felt like this video was so much longer ago. But that was during a time when we were doing all the different cozies and stuff for mason jars and coffee cups and all of that. Well, welcome back to Steel Lover. My apologies if you go by a regular name because I don't know. I was practicing all morning that so-and-so was Amy, so-and-so was Amy, but then I forgot who so-and-so was. So if you guys you've been here for a while, you know I don't do it to be mean and to devalue who you are. I just don't remember. I like that little pop in there. So with the string blocks, it can be fun to lay something out. Oh, no problem. I'm just happy that people watch it. I know, I mean, I have a tablet that I set up here where my laptop is. It's a little tablet that I watch YouTube on all day. And I like the video and I watch it and I never comment. I've been following people for like 10 years. I know everything about them, everything they've made, but they have no idea who I am because I never comment. And they don't have it set up easily to comment when you're on the TV. Now, if you wanted to, when I really want to comment, I'll just comment on my phone because the tablet is hard to type on. But I don't expect anyone to do that. But speaking of phones, I wanted to show you guys for next month and for whenever. Not now, leave me alone. If you go, let me see, I'll stand up for this so you could see better. If you go to a channel's homepage, now this so far I've seen only works on my phone. It does not work on my Android tablet, and it does not work on my Mac, my Apple laptop. So if you go to my channel, and if you look right here where it says manage videos because that's me, but if you go right here, oh, thank you, Yvette. I'm really happy that you're comfortable enough and you enjoy it to comment here and hang out with us. See where it says blurry visit community right there? If you click that, this is me when I post things and stuff. Wow, that's from 2 years ago. I'm on my old phone, so it's not updated. But if you go here, it leaves a spot where you can put something down. So you can take and leave a comment. And from what I understand, and I've seen on other people's channels, you can also put a picture there. So if you guys want to practice today by adding a picture of whatever you're working on, so that if you want to share anytime, you can share whether we're live or doing something. It doesn't even, you know me, I don't really care what you put there as long as it's family friendly. If you want to show your pets, if you want to show knitting and crochet, embroidery, if you want to show sewing and a quilt you just finished, whatever works for you. So you can leave something there. It's like if you're doing the slow stitching and you want to show your progress, or you want to take a poll. I don't think there's going to be too many people during a live stream for the slow stitching. It's probably just going to be, you know, the 20 or 30 people that normally show up. But people can come back later and look at it and say, hey, okay, I think you should do this, or this is what's causing this to happen with your sewing machine. So you can ask questions and look for help, or just show off things that you've been working on. Just be prepared because one, you have to be a subscriber to be able to post there. It kind of slows like the bots down because they're not going to be a subscriber, but the scammers, I might not catch them all the time because if YouTube doesn't notify me that someone left a comment or a picture there, then I don't see it. So I have to get into the habit of checking there. So if some scammer comes in, they could leave something inappropriate. And at that point, you can message me on Facebook, send me an email, leave a comment on a regular YouTube video, whatever way you can get a hold of me to let me know, and then I'll take care of it. Otherwise, whatever you post there, the whole world can see. So maybe avoid posting pictures of children's faces, you know, just not to share the kids out there into the world. You never know what you're going to learn, right, Janice? I try to share everything with you guys that I learned, because if I don't know it, even if I do know it, not everyone knows it, right? So I think maybe do I want yellow in the center? Because when it folds over, it changes the look to it. And you can also, I mean, it's going to go one direction, really, if you just flip it over, right? So whatever's in the center is not necessarily in the center. So if you're looking to make a block look a certain way, I don't think it really matters. It's going to blow away. So I think I'll put a yellow in the center, because we need to have 5 main strips to go from there. I don't like living in a world, you know, doing things like in the YouTube world, and where everyone knows, like, what are all those purple badges for? I don't know. Why does everyone else know and I don't know? I kind of feel like not necessarily left out, but I just kind of feel like not part of the in crowd. And if you're being in the chat and you want to chat with people, you kind of want to be part of it. So you want to understand what's going on. And people have gotten a little snarky lately, I've noticed, especially on TikTok. I've been trying to build my TikTok up slowly. Because if you have 1,000 subscribers, you can post links in your profile. Otherwise, you have to become a business TikTok. And I was going through that process, and they just wanted so much personal information and access to so many of my websites and stuff I didn't feel comfortable with. So I'm trying to slowly bring it up to 1,000 subscribers. So I post similar items on Instagram and TikTok, but I'm trying to keep some things only on each site. I have an ad. At least you guys can see when I get an ad. So I'm trying to build that up. But, oh, what was I saying? Oh, I noticed on TikTok that people are like, hey, Robin, what do the purple things, the purple crowns mean? They're like, you know, you can just Google it. It's quicker to Google it than it would be to ask a question here. And I thought, oh, wow, that's just kind of a little grumpy and rude. I always want to have like a helpful community. So no matter what question someone might have, you kind of answer it. I had a question on my how to finish a hexagon quilt video, and the person was like, I'm sorry, I know this video is, 5 years old or something like that, but I was just wondering if you see this comment, type of thing, can you answer this question for me? And she was lucky because I happened to be looking at my YouTube stuff at the moment, so I answered it right away. But for everyone to feel kind of like, oh, no one's ever going to answer my question, but I'm going to ask just in case I get lucky, makes me feel kind of bad. Because we like to have such a helpful community. Oh, you tested it out, Barb. Was it simple and easy? I'm not going to be keeping my old phone much longer, but while we have it here, let's keep an eye on things, right? Visit community. Oh, top, newest. Oh, I wonder. All I can see is my stuff. Can anyone else see? Oh, excellent. That's my thing. I'm not that technologically inclined there. I wonder if it doesn't work on the app and I have to go to the actual YouTube. All right, let me come back here so I can make sure I'm signed in. Okay, let's try here. See if this helps. View channel. Okay, here, when I'm not in the app, and right above my videos, it says Home, Video, Shorts, Live, Playlist, Posts. So if you go to Post, oh man, that doesn't show that. Membership, search. Okay, just let me know. Can you guys see Barb's post at all? I'll have to look into that and why I can't see it. Do you see something that says Posts? I'm off of because there's the YouTube app. I just searched on Google for YouTube, and now under my name, it says Posts. So I wonder, could someone else try and see? Because it's either me or maybe Barb set hers up to, I don't know if you can set them up to be private or something. I haven't gone to anyone else's channel to post it. Anyone else willing to just post something and say hi? You don't even have to put a picture up or anything. Let's test it out on a safe channel. You have to be on Robin's channel. Community isn't on my phone. Does it say something like, did you see where it says Posts, Jackie? Because they changed it a while ago, and when I was in the app, it said Community, but when I'm here, it says Posts. Let's play somewhere safe where no one's going to, yell at you for not being smart enough to figure something out or for doing it wrong. So I always let you guys, you want to test things out here with me, go for it. Because then we can always delete it afterwards too. No? Now, you're on your phone. They say it's only on your phone. It's not on computers. So maybe it's not fully rolled out to everyone yet. And you've updated your app recently, Jackie? Or I guess if you're just online and not on the app, it won't matter. Because here, I'll double check on my laptop. But last time I checked, when they said it was I don't know why they're doing it just on phones, on mobile devices. Well, there's posts, publish schedules, archives, that's all me. Now I have something called visibility for myself where I can click on it and it says public, and then I can choose like members and stuff, but that shouldn't be for you guys. Oh, okay, so yeah, you're just online. Yeah, I don't see, yes, updated it on my phone. So I'm not really sure. I don't know, Ellen. They do that sneaky stuff, don't they? I would think that YouTube would want it to be for everybody because it would be on, you're not on an app, you're on like searching on Google for YouTube. So that shouldn't matter if it's an Android or an iPhone. Either way, that's something, maybe it's just not working for my channel for you guys. Happy Saturday, Lee Allen. So maybe it's something you'll see on another channel. At least the possibility is out there. And if maybe it's not there for everyone, because I saw other channels using it, other subscribers using it on their favorite channels before it became available on mine. Let me put this one on. You have a Google Pixel? Nice. I'm the type of person that doesn't do very well with new things, and if something works, I kind of just stick with it, and if something doesn't work, I kind of just get used to it. So I don't like to change things very much. And with iPhone being the first thing I used, it kind of works out because so many things are geared for iPhones because it's the biggest thing out there. So not everything works, or you have to learn a workaround. Like the laptop, if I just used a basic laptop, I know how to use that. This one, I upgraded to the Apple because it lasts longer and I wouldn't have to buy another laptop right away. And it had more memory storage and it works faster, the speed of it. I don't understand any of the things I just said, but I just knew it was better than other things based on my research and talking to the gentleman at Best Buy. But I don't know what I'm doing other than going online. Ellen sent a post. Let's see if we can see Ellen's post. All right. So I wonder if, let me see. Because when I go to my home screen on YouTube, and as I'm scrolling down, there'll be sections where I can see, like where the shorts are, there'll be different things that I can just see that'll have other people's posts. Ooh, gross, we don't want to see that. Oh, look, they made a tote bag totally from scraps. You can tell what I look for all the time. I'm always looking at the scraps and stuff. And I'm really kind of hooked on some of those Karen things. But now I can't see anyone else's that they did this on. Oh, and the movie, When Good Ghouls Go Bad, I love it. But I can only see it on YouTube, so I watch that all the time. Did I go into the community? Let's see. View channel. And on here, when I'm not in the app, I go to post. And it just shows mine with the Christmas fabric from Missouri Star. If I go into the app and I go to visit community, then this one says 2 years ago. Let me see, newest. Yeah, okay, 7 days ago. And it has my posts. And then when I hit newest, I'm supposed to be able to see you guys' stuff. Can anyone else see it though? Can anyone see Ellen's post? It might just be something that's only halfway there. I pressed all the buttons. They're like, if you want to do this, press here. So I always press there. I did have a question for my Arizona Phoenix type peeps, whether you're here now or on the replay. Where do you guys take your sewing machines in if you need them to have a spa day to get a good cleaning and just to, if you have any basic maintenance or whatever? I want to take, you can see yours. Yeah, Barb can see hers too, but you can't see Barb's. So I don't know. Is there somewhere where you can set, like, is it say a drop down for privacy? So if you want it to be public or not public? I want to take my Juki in. It's never gone in for a spa day, and it's starting to just, as Giovanna always tells me, it's starting to make a little bit of a noise and stuff. And I've cleaned it, and I've oiled what little places I'm allowed to oil it. And it's just making a little bit of a, it sounds, when I sew slowly, it's okay. But when I go fast, it makes kind of a clunkety sound. It doesn't sound like the needle's hitting anything, but it sounds plasticky, and the Juki's, you know, basically metal. So I use 30, okay, that's the one I was looking at, Jackie, because that's the only vac and sew, or sew and vac that I saw. But I wasn't sure if they were nice or not. I wanted to see. Do you lose your machine? It doesn't matter, but I was just curious if you lose your machine for very long. It is, right? That's what I thought. That's why I thought I'd put the browns together for anyone that likes that colorway. Let them have something, because not everyone likes bright, bright, bright. No, it warned you. Everyone will see what you post on YouTube. Okay, good. Then it's public at least. And everyone is being told, hey, be careful. I'm going to leave all of these without anything on the corners, and when I go to trim them up later, because we're not going to trim, we're just going to sit here and sew for a little bit. When I go to trim them up, if I need to just add a little bit, I'll do that whole process later. For now, I just kind of want to sew. I cut a stack out. Any of my pieces that were smaller than, they were between 8 inches and 10 inches. Because at 10 inches, I still want to make the rounded bowl cozies. I want to start working on holiday stuff, because before we know it, the holiday's going to be here. Excuse me. Let me see. I've also been thinking about the quick videos for the December Advent series, where I'm just going to put up a 3 to 7 minute video of me not talking and showing a quick project. Like, I could make these for it. So if there's anything that's can be made quickly without me giving tips and tricks, if you have a suggestion or something you'd like me to do, please let me know. And what I want to do is I want to link, if I show this during December 4th, I do the eyeglass cozy, how to make an eyeglass cozy, right? I want to be able to do that quick video, but I want to link it to one of my older videos where a new person can be held their hand step by step. You guys know how I do all the talking and tips and tricks. So if there's something you guys want to see that I don't have a video for that would work well for the Advent series, I have between now and December 1st to make those videos. Oh yeah, everyone's faster during the summer here, right, Jackie? I need to balance it with my daughter. I got her looking for her new truck now. So hopefully I'll have my car soon. And if it takes longer, it takes longer. It is what it is. That's why I bought the Brother as a backup machine in case something happened to my main one. I'm really loving going to the doctors here in the summer, because it's in Florida where I lived. It was a long time before we used to be able to, like, the seasons, they haven't had a tourist season and a snowbird season. It's just year round now down in most of Florida. So it's nice to be here and have just seasons where the summers are slower. And I had a dermatologist call me on Monday morning and said, hey, we have an appointment. We can get you in. They called it like 8 in the morning. They're like, we can get you in at 10 o'clock if you can be here. I was like, whoa, because in Florida, you have to make your dermatology appointments a year out, and you could get bumped at any time. You can't see anyone else's. Yeah, so I'll have to look into that. Let me write myself a note, because, you know, the brain doesn't work. I went picked up a pack of sticky notes at the Dollar Tree so that I can write myself notes, and then I stick them on. I have my big 20.5-inch square ruler right up here on the wall, so it's just being covered in sticky notes, things I need to know right now. All right. And I'm going to give you another piece of helpful tip here in a second. Double check community posts not being seen. And today is the 19th. Okay, so by watching all of the videos that I watch, just random videos, when you're doing a Post-it note, in the past, you would just take your Post-it note and peel it off like this, and they would constantly fall off the wall because the edges would curl. So what I was taught from a video is that you're supposed to lift up your little note here, right? Hold the pad down, and you pull straight down. I just walk my fingers up to unstick the glue. So you pull straight down and the edges don't curl up, so that when you stick it, it stays stuck for a very long time. And then just press it down like this. And there you go. Your stick-it note will stay stuck, especially on the plastic rulers like that. I have some on my calendar and I have some on my ruler, and they stay stuck for a long time. All right, so I am designing this because I have all of these different flowers. And it looks like, are those the only ones I have? See, that's the thing, is you end up kind of repeating still. So I could put the brown one over here like this, and then put this one. It changes it up a little instead of having the teal and teal. So I think that's what we'll do. I'll have to figure it out. I don't know what's going on. Just like a lot of things, YouTube will roll stuff out for just a certain number of channels. They seem to do some of the really big channels and some of the really small channels to get a good mixture. And then to catch any of the little glitches and bugs that aren't working well. And then when they fix it, then they roll it out again and they see, you know, when we have more people using it, do we have more problems? I know a lot of people don't like this Brothers CS6000i sewing machine, but I gotta say, I really love it. I'm using it today, one, because my Juki's making funny noises, and two, I cut a whole bunch of flannel for the reusable paper towels. And I thought I would serge it or overcast it with this machine compared to using it, because I saw people when they're just using a basic cheap serger, they say they can only sew for a half an hour at a time because theirs overheats. And I didn't want to put that extra wear and tear of the constant running onto the bigger, more expensive machine. I'd rather just do it here. I mean, I don't want to ruin anything that I own, of course, but this was a lot less expensive to have to like replace or something like that. Excuse me, I've got the hiccups and everything over here. I also, excuse me, I also have the friendly reminder of, don't forget it's back to school time. So if there's certain things that you could use in your craft space or in your kitchen or your office or whatever, now's the time to grab things like pens and papers and notebooks, and keep an eye out on the Walmart for, I think they're 99 cents, 90 cents or whatever, the clear plastic pencil cases. I know I just bought, I think 6 of them. They're in my closet. I was going to use them for buttons, but then I saw right after I ordered them and they were delivered, I saw someone, because I wanted to use them for my button collection, because I bought a bunch of clearance buttons from Joann's like, I don't know, 15 years ago. But they used these photo storage boxes to store their buttons by like rainbow order and stuff. And I'm like, how did I not think about that since I have 3 of these containers that I use all the time? So I'm going to use the pencil cases for things like pencils. And then when that goes on sale at Michael's, or when I get to go up there and do a little shopping or whatever, eventually I'll pick one up so that I can store all my novelty buttons in it. Because I have like little buttons with houses on it and little buttons with dogs, and I thought they'd be fun to put on tote bags and stuff. Oh, you burned out your brother? Well, I'm going to keep an eye on it. I generally don't get to sit and stitch. I know this one can handle fabric postcards, one right after the other, and I use I call it a feather stitch. It's not that far off from the overcast, so I think I should be okay with it, but I'll keep an eye on it. I can tell it's warm from the digital display and stuff, so I'll just keep an eye on it because people say it overheats and stuff, so we'll see. Oh, yeah, Audrey, I love it. It's not as fancy as my Juki. I can't just push a button and it automatically does a 1/4 inch seam. I had to draw lines on a piece of fabric and remember where everything is. I really should take a Sharpie and just write on here where the numbers are for the 1/4 inch and stuff like that. It takes a little bit to go from one machine to the other because they're just slightly different. Like my Juki, the lever for the foot's in the back. This one's on the inside, so I'm always going like this and stuff, but it's not a big deal. I find that brothers and Jukis are very similar. I asked about the sewing machine place because I did notice in Florida that a lot of the quilt shops do it, but they only do the sewing machines that they sell, and it's usually a Bernina. And I don't have a Bernina. Berninas are expensive. I'm happy with my Juki. I like it, and I like the brothers. Okay, so then I was going to do this. I try to keep my items in my shop kind of similar, like I use bright, colorful colors and stuff. Some of the shops I see, they do all picnic in the summertime, you know, little flowers and light colors and stuff. And then other shops use black with bright colors or a lot of subdued colors. So I try to stick with it without going out and buying, you know, the different style. But if I have the stuff in the shop already, like this jelly roll, then, I mean, it still fits sort of. It's just, it's 70s, it's a little older, but I still think they're colorful without being too far different from what I do. I have 3 brother machines. I love them all. 2 embroidery machines. Yeah, I started with a Singer, and then I bought the Disney brother that had the embroidery on the side, and I loved that, but it wasn't a full embroidery machine, so you only had a 3 to 4 inch area that you can embroider in. It was meant to do the little Disney characters and like short names. But I always thought embroidery machines were really cool, but I don't want to get into that now. I kind of moved past that, but you know, they are really nice. And I can see why people have more than one embroidery machine, because if you're doing things for the holidays or you're doing something to sell, then it's nice to have 2 machines going at the same time since they sew all on their own. Lee Allen, I almost choked on my water. Your sewing machine started sewing backwards. I have heard of that happening. Okay, the only problem I have is my mouse doesn't wake up. It's an Amazon mouse, right? I can't really complain. I know I didn't spend a lot of money on it, but sometimes it just won't wake up. Oh, and of course now I have that stupid thing up there. Go away. All right. Oh, Giovanna made it. Giovanna, 50 lashes with the wet noodles, what Grandma always said. Now, I do have other fabrics that if the eyeglass cases aren't just for eyeglasses, I'm making them a little bit larger than I did in the video because I want to be able to put a rotary cutter in them. But that you saw, the rotary cutter goes in nice and easy. Thankfully, by receiving the rotary cutter, the 60 millimeter from Missouri Star, I now know that it's just, because this is so thick here, it's just a little bit useless. It won't fit. So I want to make them a little bit bigger so it'll fit for larger glasses. You can also put your special fancy scissors. I don't think this is going to do much. It needs to be a little taller for that. But I have the zipper pouches for scissors. I think that's a little bit of a better idea. But we talked about before the rotary cutters would be nice in the eyeglass cases. A mid-range singer. Did you know me? So you kind of go with all the brands, huh, Jackie? I'm going to go get the noodles now. Go get the noodles. Is it dinner time? The noodles for sunglasses? I'm totally lost. Giovanna, you might have to talk slow to me. Now for me, noodles are either pasta that you eat or those styrofoam things that you put in the pool so you don't drown. Oh, okay. Now let me just say this out loud, and let's just all listen to this for a minute. Giovanna says, I'm going to go get the noodles now for sunglasses to wipe myself. Now, I can guess on some of that. Either Giovanna has been taken over by a bot and is saying weird things, or I'm not really sure. Have you seen those eyeglass wipes that are actually food? The wet noodles? Oh, 50 lashes with a wet noodle. See, things come out of my mouth and I move on. Okay, Giovanna, could you see where, since I had moved on to the next thing and I'd already punished you, that I didn't think about what that was anymore? I'm like, I have no idea what that woman's talking about. That was fun. Thank you for the laugh. Okay, so this one has birds and donkeys. Oh, I thought that was a sandbox, but I guess it's a little pond with the ducks in it, because otherwise the ducks and the geese are in a sand pit. There's a yellow turtle. What else have we got in here? Same thing. Oh, yeah, no. Huh. This is the same thing, but in red. So if we put the little jackass donkey over there, and we have some red. I'm like, I don't know what you're going with. Yeah, it all depends really, right, Jackie? It all depends on what you're going to be making, what you're going to, what you're going to use it for and stuff like that. Like, I can quilt on this, but it's only a throat plate of, not even 5 inches. It's about 4.5 inches between the needle and the edge over here. So while I quilted a king size quilt on my little Disney machine. You guys in my older videos, the one that had that plastic ramp that I used to set my arms on and stuff like that. I loved that machine. It was fast. It did a lot of things. It made jeans and stuff like that, but it just started making loud noises, and I took it into the shop and he says throw it away and get a new one. Like, whatever. Oh, yeah, there's usually bigger sizes and stuff. So I'm going to do this, and then if I get a lot of comments of, I wish it was bigger or something like that, then I'll make bigger ones. Because not everyone has big ones. So it's nice to have a mixture. I don't know. I mean, it's the same design, but do I like that? Ooh, here's another one. Go away. I do like it in blue. Can we do all white? Is that wrong? Would it be wrong? So for those of you who've been here for a while, you know this isn't my favorite thing to do. I don't like having messes. You come over here. Do what diddy diddy dum diddy do. My Janome is a 12 to 13 inch throw. Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm not making quilts. I'm making the sunglass cases like this. So when you take the string block and you trim it all down, instead of just using the solid fabric, I'm just showing different things you can do with scraps. Plus, I like to have scraps. And then you have a sunglass case, or you can put your rotary cutter in it, or anything else you want. You can put a bunch of pens or pencils in it or something. So technically it's a string block. I changed the title. I had it that I was making sunglass cases, but I took the sunglass case off the title because I didn't want people to be like, oh, you're not actually making sunglass cases. You're just sitting here talking and making string blocks all day. So I thought I would just make string blocks in the title and tell you guys there's a link to the tutorial to make this sunglass case in the description box of the video. Eventually I'll trim these down, but basically we're just sitting here talking. Just sitting here talking. Having a good time. I think this is what I'm good. Not a huge fan. I think this is too dark. Not a huge fan. Not a huge fan. But I only have 3 of these. Where's this one? This one, purple. We'll do purple. All right. Put you there. That'll work. The blue in the middle. I was trying to do every other, just to, break it up a little bit. How about that? Oh no, Janice, that's annoying. I like that purple because this one has purple in it, so that's nice. Now, Giovanna, you weren't here in the beginning, so I did not say that I won't be picky. I'm only using this jelly roll, so I'm kind of limited on my options, and I'm just trying to make them so they look nice together. The oranges, this is a nope. You don't like this one? How about this one? I think the red's a nope. I think I can put... I just don't know about those character ones like that. Like I can put this, and then, what did I just see peeking out? Come here. They're all folded in half, because they're jelly roll strips. And then that. And then bring that back in. It's only going to be a little bit in the corner, so I'm going to stick it in just because, you know what? Bum, 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 bum. Oh, mine too, Janice. Yeah, so far, knock on wood, you know, I'm pretty good. Maybe you guys are in like the same area or something. I have your permission, Giovanna. That's all that matters, right? Okay, so we only joke. So I hope everyone's kind of like at least intrigued a little bit, even if I know a lot of people don't do what I'm doing. You just kind of hang out and chat or hang out while you're doing whatever. So I hope the slow stitching is, you know, kind of interesting a little, at least to see it being done even if you don't want to do it. Now, when I'm doing string blocks, I had thought about doing a lot of quilting versus just a quilt as you go right to the batting like this. But being for sunglasses, you kind of want it to be poofy and a little protective still, so I'm not flattening it out with stitches. I don't want it to be stiff. Excuse me. But I do like to, as you see, press every time because I don't like when it gets a little poofy right here at the seam, and when you iron it, it kind of rolls over. Because I've made that mistake so many times when I first started making quilt blocks that I really didn't want to do it on purpose, you know? Oh, excuse me. So I do just like to iron. Now, if I was making quilt blocks on paper, or I was probably doing this by myself, I would chain piece a whole bunch of these. You can lay these out, put the fabrics on them, and then lay another piece on and put the fabric on it and make stacks, or just pull from the pile. I would sew the first piece on the right-hand side. I show this in my string block playlist videos, and then I flip it around and I sew a piece on here. Then I get up and I walk to the ironing station. Even if it's 3 steps that way, it keeps me from sitting. Like right now, my right shoulder hurts from sitting here. So Giovanna, you make me laugh. Just a little bossy, but you're over there. And when the camera goes off, I can swear at you and tell you to be quiet and leave me alone, and this is my channel, and I'll do what I want. But when I'm here, I know you're only joking, and I'm only teasing you anyways. Gosh, this chair's not comfortable today. I'm sitting on a table topper, so I'm not sitting right on the chair, and it keeps rolling up underneath the back of my knees. And it keeps me from sitting still too long, so I'm constantly getting up. But instead of getting up at like right now, it's not bad. You just sit here and iron like this. But because I'm bringing my right shoulder over, and I've had 3 surgeries on that shoulder, it's not very good. Ooh, is that touching the... that's not good. The cord's getting a little warm. Oops. I want to be able to get up and move and not strain my shoulder and stuff. But yeah, so I put 2 down so I'm not getting up all the time. And I like to do 5 to 10 blocks at a time. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I think I got 15 for this. Ooh. Ooh, fun. I had, right after I did the video saying I should be hearing from Missouri Star for the next month stuff that's going on. And as soon as I got off the video, like within 10 minutes, I had an email from them saying, okay, this is what we're doing for the next month. And I don't know what we're doing because they just asked like, well, what do you like to do? And what are you interested in? And I like, because they asked like what fabric lines I enjoy and for like Halloween and stuff, but I haven't seen any of the new fabric lines for Halloween out yet. I haven't seen anything come across my Instagram like I normally do because it's only July. Yeah, sometimes we just, our backs, our necks, our shoulders, our knees, whatever they happen to be, our hands, we kind of need to get up and move a little bit. Plus, This is my daughter's old Apple Watch. It's a third generation, and I think they're on the 10th or 11th now, and it's too small for her, so she gave it to me. I use it to, I have a cat sitting on the back of a toilet tank for a picture right now. It rotates through the cat pictures. But I use it to, it tells me if I haven't gotten up in an hour. So when I'm doing like computer work or I'm doing something just sitting here doing it, it yells at me and tells me to get up. I use it to see how long I sleep at night. And I don't have to carry my phone with me all around the house, so I know if my phone rings or I get a text message. I took it off because the medical alert bracelet jingles underneath it all the time, and I wear both on the same wrist, obviously. So I took it off for today, but I like it because it reminds me to stand up. And I didn't pay for it, so it was free. It was already in the house and not being used, so that's perfect price for me. I did drink. I've been drinking a lot, Giovanna. My lips aren't even dry yet. So it's nice to have something to set an alarm or just to remind you to get up, because it's really easy to just sit here and do this. Now I am on a swivel chair, so if I were to behave, I could swivel versus reaching across. Well, we got to take care of our joints and everything. That's why all this ergonomical and triangle and all of that stuff. So Jackie, which layer cake did you get? I'm pretty good when even when I'm doing videos, because talking dries out your mouth, so I remember to drink. And I consciously pay attention and I drink a lot during the day while I'm just working and stuff. I surprised myself because I have 3 what I call Kool-Aid pitchers. They're the 2-quart plastic pitchers in the refrigerator that I make up ahead of time with. I put a couple of those water bottle drink packets in it, so it's always cold and I don't have to mix it in my bottle and stuff. So I have those in there, and I drank over a gallon the other day. I mowed the yard the day before, so I think I was just like running a little dehydrated. So I'm like, wow. Said, I don't know what's going to happen that night, but thankfully it didn't keep me up all night. Right? We want to know if the silly community page worked properly, we'd be able to see it. I got to say, I don't know what my favorite pre-cut is, because I like all of them for different reasons, but I really do love the mini charms and the charms. The mini charms are the best because they're already cut into 2.5-inch squares, and you're getting a different variety than if you took a charm pack and cut it into 2.5-inch squares. At least that's how I've noticed with most of them. Like the charm pack, you might get 4 of the same fabric, but in the mini charms, you might only get 2. Or if you do get 4, that'll give you 4 2.5-inch squares. But if you cut the charm squares into 4 2.5-inch squares, you have a ton then, and it's not as much of a variety. Because I want to start working more with the pre-cuts and making some different projects. Oh, I tell you, this is just the bee's knees, right? Oh, speaking of bee's knees, I'm going to show you guys something, because it's just us, and we don't have, I don't have a very busy channel anymore. I get a lot of people that watch my older videos, but they don't come to the new ones. And I'm not complaining, just stating a fact. But let me make sure I don't show any addresses. I'm going to show this eventually, probably just on Instagram. But when I see people on Instagram and they're using those big electric scissors and it's like got a stack of fabric like this, I'm always asking, well, what do you do with the scraps that are left over? What do you do with the salvages? Just out of curiosity, right? Sometimes they'll send me a message and they'll say, hey, I'm selling the leftover salvages or scraps that you asked about, and are you interested? Sometimes I'm interested, sometimes I'm not. But I've been following some of the people that make the beeswax wraps. And she has some organic cotton made specifically for her shop. Look at these fun bees and the different colors of fabric she has. So I bought a scrap bundle from her. And there's the yellow. And she also had ordered from her company or a company, and the fabric was misprinted. There's some white down there too. And she buys those long, not a bolt, the big roll, and it's like 108 inches or something. So she buys it that much. So she must make a heck of a lot of the beeswax wraps. But it's it's the same fabric there. But some of it like blurred or misprinted or whatever, so she couldn't use it for her wraps based on the size cuts that she needs to do and on the size of the oopsies on the fabric. So she asked if I wanted to purchase some at a discount and stuff. I'm like, yes, please. I'll take whatever you have and whatever you're getting rid of. So for a little bit of money, she sent me this. And she also included a kit. She sells kits. You'll have to message me if you want to know who it is. Let me see if it has the name of it on here. Jenny Joy's Handmade Soap. And she's here in Kingman, Arizona. I was going to do a live stream to do this, but you have to use your oven, and doing it out in the kitchen, I don't know if it's going to work. And you have to melt things, and then you put things in the oven and stuff like that to make the beeswax. But she sent to me a little kit that you can also buy from her site. Oh, here. Scan the QR code or go to jennyjoyssoap.com. Eco-friendly home and skincare products. So there's a little kit in here that's because it's 116, 106, 109, all kinds. But there's beeswax in there for a kit that I can try out making some wraps and stuff. I don't want to make wraps for the shop, but I thought it'd be kind of fun just to make some for sometimes when you have fruit or something and you want to like wrap an avocado. This is supposed to work really well. But I'm going to make items out of this. I thought she had scraps, like, scraps, but she's got chunky scraps. And I thought I would do some patchwork with just all the bees, or there's enough big pieces that I can make tote bags, I can make, zipper pouches, makeup bags and stuff like that. So I thought that would be fun. So it just came yesterday, so I need to make a little video for Instagram. Come on, I'm just going to shove you back in, not so neatly now. She ships everything FedEx, and I think that's because it's beeswax in summertime and, things melt. Because Kingsman isn't that far away. It only took like 24 hours to get here, and you could see where the beeswax started to melt a little. So I'm sorry, Giovanna. But that's where Missouri Star has me doing all kinds of stuff. And it's a whole different audience for me on Instagram. So I'm going to try to build up my shop sales and stuff over there. Also, because it's different people, you need to kind of build it up everywhere. So that is my plan. So I thought that was really fun. She had some really fun fabric that she designed. Someone else had also said, that they had scraps, but I wasn't really. I just bought that, so I'm like, okay. Oh, stubborn. Come on. There you go. So, I didn't want to spend more money. I had a budget, and I spent my budget, so I was done. But you never know. On Instagram, there's always people selling some type of leftover scraps that went from quilts or other things. These companies that use those, it's like a jigsaw, it's not just the little scissors like I showed you guys once that a company sent me, but the ones that are on a big metal pole and it has that big metal foot and it goes underneath like this. They have all that leftover fabric. What are they doing with it? Sometimes they'll give it away. Sometimes if you're local, and other times they'll sell it to you. It's a great way to get scraps and stuff. You don't go there much. Yeah. I try to limit, how often I'm there. But unfortunately, usually when I have time, it's like the end of the day, and I'm like, I should not be on here. But I can't help myself. See, these are really, oh, gee, Robin, they're really similar, because, you know, they're the same fabric. I have more eyeballs. And that's the same one you already grabbed. I guess that's it on those. So let's, this works too. Not really, but sorta. Good. Oh, let's do all of these. So we have a flower and a flower. We didn't do flowers yet, did we? Yes, we did. I can see them there. Yep, okay. Let's find some of the brighter colors. Where are they? So we have, oh, polka dots. Let's polka dot it. I don't TikTok very often, but oh, I am just amazed. I'm just slightly naive, I guess, but I thought that TikTok, Instagram, you know, it's basically the same. YouTube Shorts, that's kind of, a lot of times I'll see, you know, ABC Quilting, that's a made-up name, you know, posted on Instagram, and they said hi, and ABC Quilting posted on TikTok and said hi, and the same thing on YouTube. It's the same video over and over again. So I thought there was a lot of cross-promoting. But then I started hanging out just a little bit on TikTok just to kind of see what's going on and all. And I'm surprised it's like a whole other world, and not in the crazy kids doing crazy things and dancings and the trends and stuff like that, just in general, like in the craft community, because that's the only place I'm looking. Seriously, I don't understand this jelly roll. Everything is just different, you know? It has like these bright fabrics that I used for the rainbow pouch, and then it has the 70s stuff. You know, it's just so different. It's like two jelly rolls in one, which is nice, but red, yellow, green, blue. Yeah. That's why Campbell soup is good. There is two purples, so we can bring in this short piece of red over there. Here's orange for Giovanna. But sometimes not everyone, you know, some people get really worked up about rainbows, don't they? Red, orange. We'll stick with the polka dots, red, orange, yellow. I don't think we're going to fit them all on because I have to do more than 1/4 of an inch seam to do this, because like these two pieces are going to get lost. So that's not going to quite cut it. Is there a green one of these? I don't like the yellow. I don't like it. I don't think the red is going to cut it anywhere else but there. So sometimes I like to use the rainbow, but not give them the full rainbow. You know what I'm saying? So that it's the rainbow colors. Like in June, you have to be really careful, because now I don't think it's right, and I don't agree with people, but some people get really worked up when you use rainbow colors in June. They think you're like pushing some type of agenda, and they like it or don't like it, and you just know how the world is, right? It's crazy out there. So I try to do this, and it gives you the rainbow colors without being an actual rainbow in order. Oh, that's fun. I've always loved the rainbow. It's always been a favorite of mine, so. There, see, I didn't like the yellow in there. That yellow, the polka dot yellow is not bad, but it's still a bit brighter compared to, now with the polka dots only, it's not bad, but when you start having to bring in other colors like that, it kind of loses it. I mean, I can keep it in there to keep with the rainbow colors. And I don't want to like bow down and Giovanna told me I can't do something, so I'm not going to do it. But at the same time, I need to sell things in my shop. So you have to play that game sometimes in life. But I love the rainbow. I love rainbows and I've tried back and forth with it. And really the only reason, Yvette, I put the TikTok back on is just for the shop. Because I'm going to put this off center so that they'll all fit. I did it for the shop just to get that extra audience in, to bring some more people in. TikTok right now for small businesses is like one of the hot spots. If you can obviously sell stuff without it, but if your shop is like mine and it's not hugely popular, sometimes you have to grab the sales everywhere you can, you know. I don't go on this. I follow this one girl is a vegan and she goes grocery shopping within the monthly budget that the USDA says a single woman of her age should spend that amount of money every month. So she's like challenged herself to live within those means, and then she's saving money for times when she doesn't have a job and stuff. So I enjoy seeing what she's making because I eat a lot of vegan and vegetarian foods. Plus, she's a knitter, so it's fun to see. I'm pretty sure I've mixed everything up, Giovanna, and now yellow's going to be in the corner. I don't think that's where I had it, but that's where it's going. And then there's a couple of accounts that I follow on Instagram that are over on TikTok, a couple of quilting channels. And there's this one woman, and I only say this because she talks about it all the time. She's very, very Christian based. And she does these quilts where she takes a piece of batting, and let's say a 12-inch square. She takes a bunches of them and does quilt as you go. But she takes clothing that people send her, usually baby clothes, and she puts, instead of cutting a square out of them, she puts the entire piece of clothing front and back right on it. And she does this layering technique that she explains to you and shows you how she does it. And then she makes a quilt that's got to weigh 300 pounds. You are bossy. You see how I listen and I don't listen at the same time? I don't pay enough attention to worry. Sometimes, I think I've told this story before, but some people have told me, Robin, did you know that I'm not talking to you and I haven't been talking to you for 3 months? I've been ignoring you. I'm like, my apologies, but I didn't notice. So I don't always notice, I notice evil, but I don't always notice silly, funny bossing like Giovanna does. And like when we tease Jody, who did not show up for the live stream unless she's just listening. Bad Jody. And then, it's good old natural teasing. So if it's meant to be evil, I don't notice. My apologies if you were being mean and I didn't take it that way. I promise to be offended and have my feelings hurt later. Because I'm really good at getting my feelings hurt. We're just here for the fun, right? I mean, I don't get the messages anymore, but I used to get a lot of nasty messages. I think people just realized I don't care. Why aren't you talking about like that scary, horrible flood that just happened in Texas? Why aren't you talking about that? Why aren't you talking politics? Why aren't you talking about the latest whatever is on the news? Well, because we come here to relax, to hang out with crafty friends or friends that just want to hang out and chat in a safe place. We aren't here to stress out about all that stuff, so we don't need that extra stress. We know it exists. We're not fully ignoring it. I'm just not discussing it because I'm not that kind of channel. I use my crafting. I say when I'm knitting, it relaxes my soul, because just holding silly foot pedal. This is the Brother Sewing Machine is the only foot pedal that slides on the floor. My Juki sits there perfectly. When I hold my knitting project, I don't even have to take it out of the bag and knit on it. I just hold it at like doctor's appointments and stuff, and it calms my soul. It centers me. I've noticed I've been a little erratic and crazy lately because I haven't been knitting at all, and knitting is what I usually do at night. I've been crocheting. Oh my goodness. I am like the slowest person because you don't get a lot done when you only crochet for 10 minutes a day, right? Let me move that so I don't melt the bag. I've been working on that net crocheted, the mesh shopping bag. Now, we went into this knowing that I didn't have enough yarn to do the whole bag because I bought 2 balls identical and I grabbed the third one without looking and it didn't match at all. So I found this apricot color to make the handles. I am on the handle part. I am almost done. And of course I made the large size instead of the small, right? So I am almost done, and I don't know if I made it right or not, but man, this guy is huge. I counted all the stitches and made sure all the numbers were right, and it says it's right. And I think mine is stretched out more than the other people show in their videos and stuff. But I thought that while it's not perfect, it's apricot, and apricot is an orange color. And now that I'm looking at it, it looks better there than here. It doesn't look bad, but I just wish I had this orange color. I couldn't match this orange color because there's 2 oranges in here. There's this orangey orange and this peachy orange. So I thought the peachy orange kind of matches with the apricot. I just wish I'd have planned this ahead because I would have crocheted this in the same color, and I think that would have changed it. I'm thinking about adding a couple rows onto here just to bring this color across the main bag. But that's what I'm working at night. But I don't work on it enough to calm my soul. Too tired to not use the foot pedal. I use the slider on. Oh, yeah. This one, yep, there's a little yellow, there's an arrow button on it. So this one does automatic without it too. But if I'm too tired to use the foot pedal, I tell you, sometimes when I'm sewing, it doesn't matter if it's 2 in the afternoon at 10 at night. Sometimes I just put my head down like this. I'm sewing, and then I just slowly fall asleep, and the machine is still going, and it wakes me up when my head hits the machine. I don't think having an automatic would be a good idea. It's bad enough that my foot is sewing. Hi, Sue. Back from Watermelon Festival. Oh, fun. Yeah, Sue, we're having a great day. We've been here for an hour and a half without you. We're teasing now because Giovanna's mean, so she's rubbing off on us. And so it's like, I'm giving myself to the end of July to finish that. Now, if I would just schedule some time during the week and work on it like an hour a day, it would be done in no time at all. But it took me a while to warm up to the mesh stitch because I haven't been doing that in a while. It's not just crochet, crochet, crochet. It's like crochet, loop, crochet, loop, crochet, loop, crochet, loop. It just, there's no rhythm to it. No, you can't tell your granddaughter no. I would. Well, I don't have a granddaughter, so it's easy for me to say that. I tell my children no all the time. Nope. I used to say yes to everything, but then, my husband passed away, and I lived on my own for a while, and I learned how to say no. Something he tried to teach me all the time. I can say no to a lot of people. It's just harder to say it to your family. definitely would be hard to say to grandkids. All right. So red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. I got them all, Giovanna. I know you don't approve, but I got them all. Now I'm going to need the next couple of weeks to gather up my slow stitching stuff. Otherwise, I'm just going to be making it up as I go. I mean, I'm going to make it up as I go anyways. I think I'm just going to use like my batik scraps and then I think I'm going to go simple, just batik scraps and some embroidery stitches just to show how simple it can be. And then, talk about adding buttons and beads and stuff. I think to start with, sometimes it's better I love how clingy cotton batting is. Sometimes it's better just to start simple and build up to crazy wild. There you go, Giovanna. There's no yellow at all. See? It's gone. Oh, wait. There it is. Nope. It's gone. Oh, wait. It's back. Now it's on the front. Really, these flip either way. I put the curve on the right-hand side because that's how I always think about sunglasses. But, whatever. Thanks, Giovanna. Bye, Lee Allen. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Now, I think, I have to double check, but I think last year for Advent, I only did the Advent videos. I can't remember if I did Whip It Wednesdays or not. But with a tutorial every day, I don't know if I'm going to do Whip It Wednesdays. If I didn't do them last year, I'm not doing them this year. But if I did them last year, I don't know if I'm going to do them this year. I don't think we've used this blue. Uh-oh. Tripped over a packing box. Oh, no. Yeah, that's the peril of packing, because if you're like me, you kind of know where everything is in your house and you get used to walking on autopilot. And then when things are moved, it's too easy to bump into stuff. I'm determined to use that red. Here's a brown. Not a fan. Put you in the corner. To the corner with Giovanna. You know what? I think I need to clean up my mess. Because I just keep doing this and I don't see... I have different ones with leaves on it. So let's try to organize a little. Move this out of the way. Because we've already made, string blocks go quick even when you're going slow and talking. We have the flowers, number 1. We have that 70s show, number 2. And then my favorite of the pinks and greens. I love the pinks and greens together. That's 3. Giovanna's non-rainbow, 4. And then this fun one that kind of makes your eyes go batty. That's 5. So we are on number 6. So let's see if we can just fold these things up a little bit. Sometimes you just have to clean up your mess. At my house back in Florida, I had the table that came off to the side. I actually had 2 tables, so it was extra long, the whole length of the room. And I could pile stuff over there. And it just made it really nice to be able to spread everything out and just make a mess. And then come back afterwards to clean it up. Oh, you have helpers. Well, at least they're trying. So hopefully it heals quickly. I find my bruises seem to stay around for a long time. I think it's a location-based thing, because some bruises heal quickly and others don't. I think that's just pretty. They're like leaves with some type of berries, but I don't know, it kind of makes me think of birds and whales and stuff. I think we bruise easier as we get older too. I'm sure there's some medical knowledgeable thing about it. Or we just bump into more things. So I remember my grandmother always bruising a lot. Now, if I think about it, like these two are the same, different colors, but still the same. So maybe we should put those two together. Trying to keep them small in those two. Because I don't think it's all in the same fabric line, but I just don't think it all goes. It's like this doesn't go with that. I'm okay, it has purple in it, but I don't think it goes. What are you using for the square you're sewing strips to? I am using the Wrap and Zap Sue because I have all that extra that I'm not using for anything else. I stood up now. I can't adjust my eyes. I think I need new glasses. They're a little blurry now. Unpacking is fun at first, but yeah, it gets boring real quick. Packing is great. You just throw everything in a box, right? When you get tired of packing, you just start throwing things in a box. You're like, I'm really organized. I'm moving in 2 months. I've got things under control. And then you're like, oh my God, I'm moving in 2 weeks. Throw everything in a box. But then you have to unpack it and figure out where everything goes. Oh, yeah, that's the payoff, Giovanna, right? Have your kids at home and you lose your craft room. I've already been eyeballing other areas of the house going, can I make that into a space for myself? I have this whole big room and I'm already looking at other things. I just really kind of, when I look at other things, I've always enjoyed looking at houses for sale or rentals in whatever area. So like when my daughter was traveling for work, I would look at all the places that she was and I would see, what the real estate looks like there and stuff. And I always imagined, oh, it was really nice and I was very spoiled to live alone in a 3-bedroom plus the bonus room house. When they remodeled, after I sold the house and they remodeled it, they did turn it back into a 3-bedroom and the bonus room we closed the dining room in, put walls up and made a bedroom for our daughter. But now they turned it back into a dining room. I gotta say, I'm very jealous of whoever's living there. They rented it for a bit. Whoops. Come on. They rented it for a bit and then they sold it again. I'm like, I wouldn't pay the amount that they were charging to rent it, but I'm like, I would live there. They did a lot of the things that we never even thought about, and they did a really great job with it. I loved my little house, that rectangle. But yeah, I always look like, okay, that would be a good craft room. And okay, if I had a 3-bedroom, I'd go back to having a room just for fabric again. I really liked just storing all of my fabric and craft supplies in one spot so that I could sew without anything all around me. And it being like at a quilt shop where you can just go in and you have all the shelves of fabric and then you just pull out what you need and you don't have to go digging through stuff. That was really spoiled there for a little bit. Tissue like squares from Missouri Star. Oh, to make the string blocks? Yeah, I'm doing quilt as you go basically for the eyeglass cases because that's all they really need. They're going to need a lining still, but you can't see the inside very much. I mean, you see it when you put stuff in, but I'm just going to use whatever fabric I feel like, mostly whites and maybe a brown or a green if it matches or whatever, but probably just all white fabric of any kind of white on white, and then just go from there because you can't see the inside in there that well. So it's like, whatever. Oh, this one room, yeah. Yeah, Becky, this one room is just amazing. No complaints about the room at all. I am not very happy with the closet, but I can't complain about the closet either because it's like 4 foot by 6 foot. It's just the shelves, the wooden shelves that I was banging my head on all the time before. I like that they're sturdy, that I could put stuff on it, but it's just different than what I've ever done, so I couldn't take my old setup and put it here. Now, I've been looking at houses with larger bedrooms in it for my kids because their rooms are smaller. In this house, this room is enormous. There's no reason for this room to be so big. It's like a sitting room and a bedroom. I have an 8 by 10 carpet underneath the craft section, and then I have a double-sized bed that you can walk around on the other side of the room. You guys have seen it. It's huge. But the kids' bedrooms are like 9 by 10. They're only the size of my studio here, and it just, there's so much wasted space in the other part of the house. So I have been looking at houses with bigger bedrooms to rent until my daughter's ready to purchase a house, and they all have the same closet setup that I've seen so far. So I guess it's common here. And once I get used to it and have it set up the way I like, then no matter what room I go into and what house, I can just transfer it over, so it'll be easy. Yeah, I could easily live in this room. I brought all my house stuff, so there's a microwave in the garage, and I have an air fryer and a toaster oven and all that stuff, right? So I could just put it right in this room, move some things around and put it in the room. I own a refrigerator, so technically I could put a refrigerator in here. My kids laugh at me because I keep like snacks in my closet, like pretzels. And I keep some packets of my drink mix, the little that you put in like a 20-ounce bottle of water. I keep it in a cabinet here. So technically, I can come in here and just like shut out the world and not leave this room. So no complaints whatsoever. I am very, very lucky to have this space. Because if you remember when I was at my kids' house, I was in like an 8 by 9 room or something, and I had the 3 cats stuck in there with me and fabric and this table and a twin bed and stuff, so that was kind of rough. Oh, no. That's how it works, Jackie, right? You pack everything and then you can't find anything. It's funny because I still have all the big plastic, the black with the yellow lid, and then the clear bins that I bought after moving here. They're still full of stuff in the garage, but we still find, like, my daughter was the last one to pack because she was traveling. So anytime we had spare room in a box, we would put like her clothes or something in it. So we're constantly still finding stuff like out in the garage with her clothes in it. And I find random boxes of like kitchen stuff or Christmas stuff, and I'll find fabric stuffed in it. So it's just crazy because it's that last minute stuff. You're just trying to fill in the empty spots, or you're just trying to get things packed. I haven't, well, ow. Oh, I cut my finger on something. While wiping all this stuff off, ouch, that hurt. It reminded me, I have to vacuum in here still, but I finished, finally, had time to sit down and finish all of my fun pouches. As you can see, we're probably going to stop right here. I don't know if I'm going to sew anymore. I like to have my main supplies around me, Giovanna, but I have so much fabric. I don't have a lot of fabric compared to some people, but I have like piles of different fabric here and there. Like I keep my solids out here and my business fabric that I paid for with shop money, so I can keep an eye on it, make sure I use it by the end of the year and stuff. But when someone just sends me fabric and stuff, it ends up in the shelves in the closet. So I go in the closet to get what I need, but it's just on the other side of the room. Just want to make sure my finger is not going to bleed before I touch anything. So I finished the pouches. Now, normally I would pull the fur out at the bottom, but I'm not able to in this one because of the way, as tight as I sew the seams, I can't pull the fur out, but I think it's okay. And I trimmed off the top a little bit, and I just loved the way these came out. Just something fun. Again, I'm just trying to use up things that I either purchased or found, like thrift store, or people sent to me. So this one, now they're not sturdy, You know, they're very mushy, but when you put stuff in it, they still stand up on their own. So I think they came out really well. I need to get pictures of these probably on Monday to get them in the shop. But if anyone wants to call dibs on anything, you know, I like that fabric. You're more than welcome to. I did find a place on Amazon. I put it in my wish list if you guys just want to go there and look. I found a place where you can find the tassels by color. I haven't done the math yet to see how the prices are. They're just so soft. So I don't know if it's economical to purchase by color, but if you just want to get some, because they come in packages of I think 50. I usually buy the multi ones in like 200, so I have to figure out the difference. So here's the one that the fabric goes in different directions. You can really see it on the bottom, and some of it got caught in the seam. Having the seam here on the side worked out really well. And I did trim a lot off of the zipper area. But they came out so cool. Really like those. So it's kind of fun trying something different and playing with a different material. Because for quilting, you can use anything you want in quilting. It just depends on how long it's going to last in your quilt. But I really like with the bag making and how you can use different fabrics. Oh, and the bee one from the shirt. That's all finished too. So the next thing I want to do is work on the plaids and stuff like that. Just going to catch up on chat. Sewing in the master bedroom, card making in the huge hall closet. Yeah, you got a lot of little doodads, Giovanna. I like to keep like little doodads in containers and stuff. I did go over to AliExpress. I didn't see any that were by just individual color, but I didn't look too much. I think I just looked for like white tassels or yellow tassels or something, or I looked at the tassels and I didn't see individual listings by color. But I didn't look too much because I'm not purchasing any right now. No, there we go. So, you know, I didn't have to look too hard, but I will need to purchase some soon, only because of just some of the individual colored ones. I think I might just get a bunch of white ones, because that will cover, like when there's the white bags, I had 2 white tassels left, so it worked out okay for the 2 white bags that didn't have they had a white lining. So I just have to see what I'm going to make. I'm really trying hard to do the use what's in your craft room before you buy more right now. Because it's too easy to just buy. And then, you know, what are you going to do? You have all this stuff and you haven't used it or anything, and it takes up space. Giovanna, I'm pretty sure I went through that link. I don't always... I have to look. I have to place a small order. Before I do things, I place a small order to check out the quality, to make sure it's something like these tassels. They're probably not going to last forever. I get a couple of them every now and then. Excuse me. I have one here that I had to glue together, and then I got glue on the actual... I don't think you're going to be able to see it, but there's like glue that oozed down here a little bit. And I just set it aside for when I make something for myself, because then it won't matter. So I have to balance out what I put on my products, because you can't charge $85 for a tote bag and then put a 3-cent item on it that's going to fall apart. Does that make sense? So I have to find that balance, and I just have to be careful of what I'm doing. So we're almost 1 o'clock. My body needs to stretch and walk around a little bit. So I think I'm going to end it for today, but I want to at least trim one down just to show trimming one of these blocks. Put everything in my chair. So let's find that one block we did that goes all the way to the edge. this one. So I like to give it a good press before I trim it. And I also, now when I do a bunch of them, I'll probably take, because I saved my old cutting mat. If you see along the edge, like right here, it's black. That's my old mat that's black on one side and I think it's blue on the other side or something. One of the companies on Amazon sent it to me a while back. I like to take this good cutting mat that I just recently purchased. I know I got it here in Arizona. And I take that off and I use the other one. So if I get batting stuck in it, I don't have to worry about it being an issue. I'm waiting for steam to come out of my iron. There's no steam. And then I don't have to worry about it being an issue when I go to cut my quilting cotton. So I can clean it when I feel like it or whatever. All righties. For now, I'm just using the spinning mat that I never use. Why not put it to good use? So let's put it, I know this corner's full, so I want to use the full corners first. You have to get closers for your charms. You cats are like bedtime. Oh, let's look. So I see Giovanna's in third. Wake up, mousy, mousy. There we go. Our top fans are, oh, Ellen, you're in the top position. Jackie's in second, Giovanna's in third, and look, it goes all the way down to 15th. Because some people are watching and they haven't like clicked like or anything like that, which is fine. I would appreciate it if you liked the video, but the fact that you're watching it, that's good. I'm pretty sure you're not going to get top fans. It's only for live streams. So if you're watching on the replay, my apologies. But that isn't going to work. Maybe one time we'll, like maybe during December when we do live streams or just something fun, we'll do, anyone who gets in the top position gets a fabric postcard mailed to them or something like that. I think that might be fun to just have the little challenge. And if I would need some people to help me keep track of it though, because I talk too much and I can't watch it. So if someone would want to volunteer to keep track of it, then whoever is in the top position, like at the end of the stream, the first person to be in the top, and whoever has the top the most or something, we can just do a fun little silly game without, maybe I'll try cutting from this side. So I can see where the corner isn't being used, so I can put my, I'm going to do 8 inches and I can put it down far as I possibly can. I'm sorry you guys can't see. Well, you can see most of it. We're going to have to go with that because I only have so much space. I might end up having to put something on the corner, but I might be, oh, no, it's going to be awfully close. But remember, there's a seam allowance. So if there's no fabric in the seam allowance, it's like whatever. I can always make that the curve also where I cut it off. And then since it's a spinny mat, I can spin the mat. If you have mats like this, and a lot of times we don't use that one corner up there, or when we flip it around the other corner, you can cut just that good part off and just put the mat on top of your mat and then spin the whole mat. You don't even have to have the fancy spinny mat. I do that with my fabric postcards. I have the little Dollar Tree ones. Those are great because I think they're 8 inches by 8 inches or 8 inches by 6 or something. You don't know how you get what? The points? Let's check the community page for you. The points are just for, yeah, the crown. It's for if you like the video and then how much you chat. Now, I'm not asking anyone to do super chats. If someone wanted to donate to the channel, to be honest with you guys, if you ever want to donate to my channel, if you want to do super chats, that's great. But the channel, the owner of the channel, myself, when you give me a super chat, I only get like 50 or 40 or 60%. It's not a lot. YouTube takes a big chunk of it. So a lot of people give super chats on channels that have like 500,000 subscribers and the chats are going like this. There's a function where we can actually slow the chat down. so it doesn't scroll so fast. So on those channels, people do super chats so that the channel says their name and reads their comment. But if you want to support a channel, it's usually better if you can find another way to do it. You can purchase memberships so that the channel will get, it's for 1 month. The person, if Giovanna said, I just purchased 5 RsIslandCrafts memberships, the YouTube would pick 5 people in the chat to give those memberships to for free. I have it set up, you can send money to PayPal or Ko-fi, or you can purchase something from my shop or whatever, but super chats for a channel like mine is really not the best way to do it because I don't get most of the money. I don't see it. Does anyone else see it? Yeah, you purchase something from someone, that way you get something out of it. It's hit and miss. I get a lot of Ko-fis and then it stops, and then I get a lot of Ko-fis. Some people support me on Patreon and never watch the videos. They just use that as an easy way to support me every month. And some people watch the videos, of course, and I do fabric postcards for people. I don't see anything on the, wait. Nope, every time I hit top. So I saw this. That was a year ago. I'm like, what is that? No. Every time I hit top, something new comes up. And it's like 8 years ago and a year ago. So yeah, sometimes people just do it Ko-fi because all of that money comes to the person you send it to. So I don't see it. I don't know if anyone else does. Oh, okay, Sue, you don't see it either? Excellent. Well, not excellent, but at least I'm not seeing things. So that's just something, a little bit of knowledge for you guys. Now these pieces, some of them I'll save to add onto the corners of other ones. This one's big enough to add somewhere else. Otherwise, I'm going to do my best to at least turn it into the front of a fabric postcard, even though it won't be finished, just to use it up. Like, there's a lot of triangles. They can be turned into half square triangles. And anytime you're doing string blocks, chances are you're going to run into this same situation. And it's up to you whether you want to reuse them. But pieces like this are really great to save so that you can add it to the tiny. I got a tiny corner here and a big corner there. So you could always add it to the corner. So throw them away, keep them, whatever works for you, right? You only see it if you hit newest. I didn't. Yeah, but Yvette, that's your post. So we've been seeing, like, everyone seems to be seeing their own post, but they can't see each other's. Visit community. Newest. I just see mine from Christmas. So what if I go here to posts? That's just for me. Post activity. Oh, okay, for me, because everyone has to have a YouTube channel to be able to post on YouTube. For me, it shows post activity. If I were to post on someone else's channel, I can see that there. But I haven't posted anywhere. I love the Barbie tote bag. I think I still have one more of those, but Barbie yelled at me and Etsy yelled at me, and I'm not allowed to sell it on Etsy. I used the word Barbie. Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't see anything. I was thinking about this today. You guys remember when we made the pumpkin quilt? Never throw away. Nope, nope, nope. Never throw away. So there is my first. And then I can decide whether... So I have this little bit there, but that little bit might be better off down at the corner because I curve this off. This one's obviously smaller and there's the seam allowance and stuff. But if you put it down in the corner, when you make your curve, I can curve it so that that disappears into the seam allowance. Excuse me, and I don't even have to worry about it. Now, there is no fabric underneath, so I have to at least leave it there if I want to have that corner showing somewhere. But it's going to get lost in the seam allowance. So guess what? I don't know what the numbers are, but I'm going to guess there's 4 different ways to turn it. I don't know. But that's really fun. I like the pink and green together. I really do. These two, I probably shouldn't have put them right next to each other, but they are the main part. And there's, see this? It kind of looks like a little fish or a whale to me. I know it's not because it's like this, but there's like a little eyeball on it, so it looks funny. A quilt with the pinks and greens or a tote bag. It's something when you're working on projects like this to write down, like if you have a project notebook, you know, write down that you like pinks and greens together. Maybe you want to make a log cabin with them. Maybe you want to make a tote bag or a hot pad, because you can make pot holders and stuff with the leftover bits. You can make a crumb block and turn that into a hot pad, because all those extra seams will help protect your table in addition to the batting that you put in it. So I still have all of these left to use. I'm reaching in front of you. My apologies. If for those of you like Giovanna who does not like to go to my Instagram, hold on. Let me reach. I'll go this way this time so I don't reach in front of you. You don't have to see all my gray hairs. Let me move the iron. I may or may not show this on Whip It Wednesday. We'll see. I mean, I did put a lot of work into it, so I should show it. I was going to wait until I finished it, but this is that one block that I'm working on with my patrons from the center of that Red Apple Lane quilt by Pat Sloan. I love the way this is turning out. These two blues with the batiks on the border is what makes it for me. The green and the red together looks great. I forgot to sew that one down, so I have that orange clip at the top of the border. I did have an interesting thing happen to me that I may remember to tell you guys about, but no, I know you just don't hang out on Instagram that much. Giovanna doesn't do Instagram. I used the hot steam on this batik. I don't know if I can't see very well. My phone's a little dark, but this right here is a dark red blotch in the batik, and that came from putting steam on it. It's up there and it's down here too, so I'm gonna have to show that in the listing. Chances are if anyone buys it, it'll probably be someone who knows me and watches my videos and stuff. I do get random people, and I don't know if they watch my videos or they just came across my items because I don't recognize names, because like someone might have a name on YouTube and it's different than the name that they use when they buy things on Etsy, so I don't always recognize the names. But I need to point that out because I did not take apart the border and put new pieces in. I went with the fact that it's red and it goes with the apples. Now, that's probably not the best thing to do, but seriously, I had everything done and I was just ironing the borders after they were sewn on, and that happened. There's barely a spot here, a little spot there, and that big splotch up there. I was afraid if I started taking squares out and put new ones in, first of all, I didn't have extra fabric, but I had a little bit of the dark blue. So if I took that out and I put a new piece in, what would happen if another piece after I quilted it started doing it or something? So I don't know what happened to it. It happens every now and then with batiks. I didn't have a fabric for the back, so I did go with this. So tell me, Giovanna, am I totally wrong for putting this on the back? I don't have a batik. I don't have blues or reds or apples or anything that goes with it. So I did this is blues and greens, dark blue, light blue, and it has some like peachy in it. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate it. This was really fun. I don't know why the steam did that, Sue. It really me off. You put a leaf over it at the top. I mean, I could do that. You're right. I already have this leaf appliqued down. It's already heat and bond down. So I don't know if putting another one up there would, do anything. And I also miscalculated. I think it's fine. It'll be fine. Giovanna, this was a kit that somebody sent me, one of my followers from a few years ago. I can't remember if this is before Rob or after Rob. So before 2019 or after, I don't remember when I received it. but it's been sitting for a while. Also, can you guys see on the bottom? The background that was sent, the person who sent this to me purchased the kit. So they didn't cut the fabric. It was cut for them by a quilt shop. I put the light blue background onto the placement sheet, like a big old piece of paper with the design printed on it. And I put it so that there was a 1/4 of an inch all the way around the border. And then I placed down the tree and I placed down the grass. And when I went to trim it up, there was this big blue background piece. This grass hill didn't come all the way down. So I had to find a piece of green that would go down at the bottom to fill it out. But I think it looks okay. It doesn't bother me. That's what I was thinking, Jackie, that there must be some type of a, like when you dye indigo, that real indigo process, that there's different colors in it, and there might have been something in the undertone that was brought out from the heat again. This fabric, I also struggled. Both pieces came in like a strip that was folded over. I trimmed off the selvages on the edge just a little bit, like a 1/4 of an inch, and I started cutting my 2.5 inch squares. Oh, I'm sorry to any of my patrons watching this. You're going to have to listen to me talk about it all over again tomorrow. So I had this, both of the fabrics, but it was 5 inches wide. I cut it at 2.5 inches like the thing said. And I just started cutting 2.5 inch squares, and it got to me to like right here. So you know how you have that leftover bend, and a lot of times they call it an elbow because it's not even. I needed 23 of each squares. I had 22 of them. I had to take these pieces off of the 2 strips, and I had to piece them together down here. But with the batiks, it's really not that noticeable. I made sure the seam was up and down to match all of these. I guess I could have put it side by side on the sides, but I like to tuck things like this down at the bottom so they're not as noticeable. Like, whatever, it is what it is. That's one of the issues that you can come across when you're doing a kit. They give you just enough fabric. You know me, if I was making kits, I'd give you extra fabric. You could probably make a little a mug rug with the leftovers afterwards, because I would be so worried that everyone would run out of fabric that I'd put a little extra in. There's no wax in it, Giovanna. It's just batik fabric. It's not the kind that has the wax designs on top of it. It's just like blotchy colors of batik. Yeah. You know, you can see it in pictures. I won't like mention it on the Etsy, but I'll make sure when I take pictures and I do the video and stuff that those items are very noticeable. And then everyone, if you can see it and you buy it and don't notice it, then it's not that big of a deal. If you're very, very picky, you'll be zooming in and making sure everything's perfect before you purchase it. Thank you. Yeah, kits are either way over, like you have a half yard left over of some fabrics, or you don't have enough. Now, the kit and or the person, because it has to have been the kit, right? So the person sent 2 blocks, this one and the bicycle one, and this dark blue fabric, I think there's going to be enough to do the binding, which is why if I had to, I could have replaced that, but I just figured if it happened on one piece of the fabric, it could easily happen on others. But before I quilt it, do you think I should change the back, or are we okay? I think I could piece some other blue batiks. I'm really hesitant. It's spray basted and everything, but that doesn't really matter. But I'm very hesitant about this. I feel like I need to change this. I have to look in my, I wanted it to be like all batiks 100%, so I might need to look in my stash and piece the backing of it. You think the back is fine? It's okay? Okay. Because again, the person who purchases it, it's a wall hanging in my opinion. So it would be against the wall. I mean, I didn't put like purple back here or yellow. I didn't put like Halloween or anything. And I think it works. It's just not as bright. And that's the only thing that really bothers me. It's not a batik. So, but again, I'll show the back on Etsy so people will know if a non-YouTube follower purchases it. But I'm really pleased, and I saved the pattern so that I can make it again for myself. But this one's going to go in the shop. All batiks would, you think it'd be too stiff? There are some parts that are stiff because the person that sent to me, I mean, I don't think I would do it any different either. The person that sent it to me, the heat and bond is behind every piece. The only one that they cut it out for is the hill down here. But I did use heat and bond on here. So some sections like this one is a little bit stiffer. It's a thicker batik and the heat and bond because I needed it to be adhered onto there. And the rest of it, it's really, for batiks, it's very soft. For this, the whole tree has heat and bond and it doesn't feel too stiff. The apples are a little bit, and there's two different kinds of heat and bond. This one's heat and bond. I think this might be Misty Fuse because it's a really thin spider webby adhesive stuff on it. But for wall hanging, I think it's fine. I appreciate that. Thank you guys for the help. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me today. All right, so this is our last live stream in July. When we come back on August 2nd is the first Saturday of the month. We will be working on the slow stitching. So I showed you guys in the one video. I'll probably put it in the community tab if I think about it when we get closer. But just grab some random things if you want to slow stitch with me. Look up slow stitching here on YouTube. There are loads of fun things. If you want something that find someone with a voice you enjoy. And if you want to just listen to someone talking about stitching and fabrics and what's going on in their life, slow stitching is really great for background noise. Just pop it on, look up every now and then while you're sewing, and they'll just keep you company. Or, of course, watch all of my older videos, because I talked a lot more in those videos. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I'll see you guys on Wednesday for Whip It Wednesday. I didn't put my TikTok yet in the description box, but I'm just RsIslandCrafts everywhere. So if you want to come hang out with me over there, I'm just slowly starting to put things up. I don't want to get to the point where I'm putting up something every day and have it be expected. So I'm trying to post over there a couple times a week. Same thing with Instagram. I will check into the community tab and see if there's anything I can figure out for it. And otherwise, enjoy your weekend. Bye, everyone.